It's not even like I just read this video is I thought worth a look at, you know.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, are people? Did we get people? Yeah, we got some people. Deshaun, good to see you. It's been a minute.
It has been. How's your travels? Are you good?
I'm home finally, yeah. And you're like, you and I are going to see each other soon. That's a horizon I'm looking forward to.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah. But I wanted to do a quick reaction to this. I saw this video. It has some misconceptions. Let's say that there's room for growth, and I wanted to like talk about it because.
How did you come across this video?
The algorithm. I don't know. In the run up to the election, to sort of keep the precious little hair I had left, I made an active point to find as many cute animal videos to watch as possible to wash away all the politics content.
Yep.
You know? And I did a pretty good job of keeping the software algorithm and contributions. So it's all good. Okay. Anyway, let's dive into. Yeah, I found it on the internet. It's the algorithm, and I'm proud of my internet.
Okay.
This up.
Are we starting from the beginning?
Yep.
All right.
This video is called "How We Fell Out of Love with Java," and it's pretty good. But I also think it because we're in the bubble, right? We are Kool-Aid drinkers. We don't know what the world from without is looking at, and to the extent that they don't have the right idea, and this person's clearly very smart. They are obviously a gifted engineer. They know what they're doing. So the fact that they have these misconceptions, I think, is our fault, not his, right? Hey, hi everybody. Yeah, look at that. We got nice people in the audience.
Let us know where you're joining from, because my mom and dad are always watching.
Oh, Cameroon. That's amazing.
That's wonderful.
Great. Small world.
Welcome.
Okay, should we dive into it?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, let's go. So I'm going to play this video. It's like 10 minutes. We'll just have a little conversation about it.
Okay.
I want to correct is what we're trying to do, right?
Why do Java developers wear glasses? Because they can't see sharp. This video is all about Java.
Oh, already off to it.
I felt attacked. Like we're 6 seconds in, and I'm looking, and both of us are wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
it's gonna be a rough ride. Hold on, here we go.
Yeah.
Went from being the absolute darling of the software development community to that kind of ugly blanket that you keep in the back of the wardrobe and hope none of your guests ever have to use. What am I talking?
Ow. He's
He's
coming in real hot.
real hot. Like
real hot.
just attacked.
Give a guy a minute.
I'm talking about Java. Java was born in the early 1990s, back when the internet was just beginning to take off. That's a time that I can remember well because I'm old.
All right.
I remember the 90s.
Yeah.
I remember Java. I remember the announcement, and I remember it was like very exciting times.
It was still exciting times, but yes, I couldn't agree more. That was, people don't remember. The young ones, they get off my lawn. No, they didn't remember. They were talking about Java on the news, like CNN and stuff, like the talking heads. That's how big this thing was, It
was created by James Gosling and his team at Sun Microsystems. Initially, the project was called Oak, and it was named after an oak tree that stood outside Gosling's office. However, due to good old trademark issues, the name was later changed to Java. The name Java came from the coffee that they.
Who owns the trademark for Oak? I actually wonder.
Oak reminds me of a software company that did like freeware.
Yeah.
So I remember that. I don't know if that's the same, but yeah, I don't know who owns it, but I do remember. No, not vividly. I do remember an Oak company that did software that did freeware.
Okay, well, there's a whole country that would like to enter the chat and might have questions about the use of an island's name, the language,
Drinking at the time. And the primary goal behind Java was to develop a language that could be platform independent. In other words,
huge at the time.
Huge.
And so huge, in fact, that they've tried to, they introduced a new language, a new platform, .NET, since then, that has achieved more success because it then retroactively added relative platform independence, not nearly so much as Java did, but it started as a .NET only proposition or a Windows only proposition, and it very, very quickly went to like Linux and Mac and everything else kind of proposition.
It's Java,
but
designed
platform independent, where the JVM runs, the bytecode runs. Big Indian, little Indian, not an issue. Architecture, not an issue.
Nobody okay, yeah. Forget about the POSIX interface for files, whatever, is fairly straightforward. But byte encoding, this is the thing we just take for granted. Of course, it's UTF-8. Of course, it's just going to work. Just don't worry about it. Write and read and be okay.
On any device, regardless of the underlying hardware or the operating system. This concept was revolutionary at the time and encapsulated Java's famous tagline, write once, run anywhere. So why did programmers initially fall in love with Java? Well, one of the main reasons was its promise of platform independence. Before Java, developers had to write different versions of their software for each operating system it might run on. And that was not only time-consuming, but it was also really prone to errors because of the testing involved in all those different environments. If you ever try to write an Android app, you'll know all about testing on different platforms.
Wait, but you know what? To be fair, he's not wrong. Like, Android is...
Yeah, but the thing, like...
Tapestry.
When it came out,
yeah,
what were our options, right? Linux had just come out.
Right, 94.
I was in school. I did not have money to buy all of the things. Windows 95 had just been released and barely had enough money to wrap up to get that. But I had this other computer that was really awesome that didn't have Windows on it. And what if I wanted to use that? What if I wanted to do the same things?
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge deal, and
huge.
It's because remember the whole thing was embedded, and the Oak was supposed to be like an embedded sort of computing environment. The overhead of a runtime you would think would be counterproductive if you're trying to get as small as possible to run on these very embedded sort of hardware and firmware spaces. But on the other hand, embedded means you can't count on anything. It means that it's a wild, wild west of operating systems, platforms, chips, CPUs, and to the extent that the JVM can abstract you away from that, that's a huge win. And of course, we had applets, which were, look, I get it, we're not doing applets anymore, but what a miracle. Somebody could load a web page and work with my software.
Yes.
On all operating systems. Again, that byte encoding, not an issue. Networking, not an issue. Basic processing capabilities, all that, you just had that,
The promise was exciting. It lived up to the promise.
Yeah, it was good.
So Java's introduction of the Java virtual machine changed the game entirely. The JVM acted as an intermediary between the Java code and the underlying hardware that it was running on. So that enabled the same Java program to run on any system that had a JVM installed. Another big advantage of Java was its robustness and the various security features that it had.
Another huge thing. And when we talk about security, we're not talking about we are to extent, but back then you would have, but he's talking about we're not talking about Black Hat and, people are trying to pen test your organization. We're talking about basic stuff like the U.S. government, the White House, even released a paper a couple years ago saying, or like a year ago saying, don't use manual memory languages.
Double down. The new report just came out this week or last week.
Oh, really? Okay, so so the point is that's what he's talking about. Like, if you want to build software that has bounds checking for arrays and in which it's impossible to get a stray memory overwrite. Because of a stray pointer or something like that kind of stuff. Yeah, Java is just an amazing win, and you just take it for granted.
So now he's telling us all the good things about Java. So I felt attacked right away. Now he's just reminding us all the cool, awesome things.
Right, and I'm not arguing. I'm just he's got this right. It's not that he's wrong about everything. It's that he's maybe misguided.
With a strong emphasis on early error checking and runtime checking, and it also had garbage collection, which helped prevent many common programming mistakes. Java's security.
Are you seeing how his hand is passing in front of that error checking the little plaque, the square there? That's some pretty good editing right there. Watch this.
Model was also at the time.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Take a moment to appreciate some. Okay.
Java's security.
Whatever, you saw that, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Also, at the time, really ahead of its time.
That's really cool. There's so much thought that put into this video. Well done.
So the production quality is up.
Sorry? Say again?
Production quality of this does not.
Yeah, exactly.
Resistance to common vulnerabilities like buffer overflows and pointer errors. And those kinds of things are really prevalent in languages like C and C++. Java's rise to popularity was meteoric. By the late 1990s, it had become the language of choice for web development. And that's thanks to the emergence of applets. Applets are small Java programs that could run in a web browser. And that added interactivity and dynamic content to web pages in a way that was previously not really possible back then. Major corporations like IBM and Oracle began adopting Java into their enterprise applications due to its scalability and its reliability. The introduction of the Java 2 Enterprise Edition, J2EE, in 1999 cemented Java's place in the enterprise world, and it's still very well known as an enterprise programming language. J2EE provides a set of specifications and guidelines for developers for multi-tier distributed web applications. And that made Java the go-to language for building large-scale enterprise applications, and that further solidified its dominance in the industry. The love for Java was also fueled by the vibrant community and the ecosystem that was built up around it. Sun Microsystems made the decision to open source a Java development kit in 2006.
2006. Here we are, 2024. 18 years of open source Java in a language that is not, it's going to be 30 next year. That means it's been open source more of the time that it's not been, and it's also been part of Oracle for longer than it's not been, right? Like,
yep. So still, it's like he took two stabs at the glasses, and he attacked us for being the ugly blanket in the back of the closet. But everything else so far, and we're 3 minutes in. Everything else of this 10-minute video, he's right. Like, there's a lot of really awesome things about Java.
Really good. He's not wrong so far. Hard to argue.
That was a pivotal moment that really spurred innovation and collaboration in the open source community. The open source nature of Java meant that developers could contribute to its development, and that led to a huge number of libraries and frameworks and tools that made Java development more efficient and more enjoyable than the alternatives at the time. One of the most significant contributions to the Java ecosystem was the development of IDEs like Eclipse and IntelliJ IDEA.
Oh,
like,
why photo? Is that?
But those were there before, right? There's a comment here, like the ease of debugging. I just remember it was IBM's Visual Age in 1997, I think I had it, or 90, in there. I don't remember what year it was. But I remember being able to attach and debug and step through.
Oh, yeah.
And
compared to C with the GDB, it's just night and day, way better,
So the IDEs were there. Like, that did not come, late 2006 after it went open source. The IDEs were already there. And I'd also say that the open source ecosystem around Java was already massive.
Yeah, which is controversial because, again, it like in the 90s, you were meant to believe that the only way to do open source was LAMP, But contemporaneous with that, and perhaps with not quite so big a zeal as in the LAMP community at first, the Java community really, we have Apache. We had all this cool stuff happening by the late 90s already. So that was a pretty good deal. Okay, I really want to is this code, it doesn't look like this code. This is from 2012. I'm kind of, okay, so it's it's using Java 6. Clearly.
Wait, where do you see it's from 2012?
I see a date down there in the problems area.
Yeah.
These are tools that have provided developers with powerful features like code completion, debugging, and refactoring. And that made Java development.
Oh, it doesn't even compile. What is this from?
What's he doing?
There's no ID.
If he doesn't have Java installed,
right,
then we can throw this whole thing out.
Just the class is called
much more productive.
Lowercase main. And none of it compiles. Look, he hasn't even set up a project SDK. Where did he get this code? Okay.
I don't know.
Look, I get it. He probably just reached for a screenshot on the internet, but this tells us a lot,
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
But much less error prone.
Just noticed it doesn't indent. Output string, and then bytes like over here. What the? Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
Alternatives at the time.
We'll do that in the code review. We'll pass it back.
Sorry, what?
We'll pass that back in the code review as a comment. Like, hey, we have to read this.
You have a heart. Spare a thought. Okay. Ready?
And beyond its own ecosystem as well. Many modern programming languages, including C# and Kotlin and Scala, they drew inspiration from Java's syntax and its features. Java's emphasis on
You're welcome. Right? You're welcome. Like, that there should be something like, they did. They drew a lot of what they're doing from Java because it is so good. You forgot that part.
Yeah. And they define themselves in terms of it, which is fine. It's to say that something was good enough to serve as a foundation, but we want to improve is not the insult you think it is, Okay, here we go.
And its memory management and its robust standard library set the trend for many of the languages that followed it. So in essence, Java laid the groundwork for all of the modern programming languages we have today.
Based, but also, yeah.
The standard library set, like the availability of a common standard library.
Right.
What was the other one that we were just talking? Is it Go that doesn't have like an int?
Was it Go? Really? That's embarrassing. But wouldn't I mean
one of the languages that the kids are all using today has like 1,000 implementations of int.
like string back in the old days. That's the other. I mean, using Java just for the string is huge. You know,
Yes.
huge. I mean, just the fact that there's one string and you can just use it and it just works. And there's even a literal representation of it. You know, in C, all these different projects you'd see that had their own like C, you know, string or my
Yep.
string or company string or whatever.
Yep.
You know, just
And I also saw those converted into Java, where people didn't realize all this is already done, but they were copying over from their, C++ books, and they were bringing all the bad habits with them.
No, please don't trigger. Okay.
Hey,
Especially
And by the way, there were other languages that had a biggest, like Python actually predates Java by like 5 years. It's a
yes.
lot older than Perl and all. Yeah, so it's not like Java was the only one, but it was the only one that purported to be systems programming kind of a language. It wasn't, you wouldn't build a kernel driver with Java, but it was enterprise services and systems as opposed to just what we called script kiddie kind of stuff, like I would use Perl to automate some file maintenance routine or something. I'd write a program customers with Java. Okay, ready? Here we go.
OP round. Despite the strong start and the widespread adoption, Java's popularity has been on a notable decline in recent years.
What? Where's it? What is?
Or it might be right. I don't know. But the question is why. So this is what I want to figure out is, I think he's going to tell us why he thinks so. And you can see so far, he's not an idiot. He clearly understands. And I've looked at some of his other videos. He's got some good stuff. So this is our chance to kind of take some notes from somebody who, I don't know what the intent or what animated this video, but
we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Look at this graph of questions tagged with Java on Stack Overflow. You can see that it peaked about 2014, and then it's been on this steady
Java 8 came out. Okay.
downward trend. Also, according to the Stack Overflow Developer Survey, they run every year.
So Python, what is this question? Okay, wait.
Java has consistently slipped in the rankings over the past few surveys.
What is this?
Wait a minute. I'm not sure I trust this survey. How is this a ranking?
What is it a ranking of? I don't understand. Like, in what language?
Is it number of questions? Is it lines of code? Like, I don't understand what we're looking at here. This is I feel like I'm being set up.
Okay.
Hey, look at this graph and believe me.
Yeah, I would like to see the context.
Most recent survey in 2024, it's actually down here below C++ even, which is slightly ironic because that was what it was trying to improve on. So what happened? Why did developers start to fall out of love with Java? Well, one major factor is a rise of newer, more modern programming languages. So all the languages above, like Java here on the list, things like Python and Java.
Python's 5 years older than Java.
C++?
Is definitely older, but when he says newer, more modern programming languages.
Yeah, which ones is he referring to?
HTML and CSS, which also predate Java, SQL, JavaScript, which came out around the same time. So yeah, I give him Go, C#, Rust, TypeScript. Everything else was at the same time or earlier.
Yep.
That's in the ranking above Java.
And Go, they've gained significant traction, and each one of those brings something fresh and appealing to the table. Python, for instance, is loved for its simplicity and its readability. That makes it a favorite amongst beginners. And there's JavaScript with its dominance in web development, and then Go with its efficiency and its performance. And also, one of my favorite languages that I talk about on this channel a lot is C#. C#, in a lot of ways, has overtaken Java and is now a much more feature-rich and nice-to-use language these days.
I'll give him that. The syntax of C# is quite a bit nicer than Java, but the runtime of Java is quite a bit nicer than the .NET CLR. That's all. I've always said that, and for me, that's why I think the sweet spot is Kotlin on the JVM. Kotlin is as close as we can get to the niceties of C# while also retaining the amazing runtime, you know?
Okay.
Here we go.
Another reason for Java's decline is its perceived complexity. So while Java was once seen as a more accessible alternative to languages like C++, it's now often viewed as a more cumbersome language compared to newer languages. Java's syntax, while it is quite powerful, it can be really verbose and rigid. And that verbosity makes coding in Java feel more like a chore sometimes, especially compared to the succinct and expressive syntax of languages like Python. Also, Java's object-oriented programming model, which was once a key selling point, is now seen as a bit outdated. Many modern languages offer more flexible approaches like functional programming, and that can lead to cleaner and more maintainable code. Indeed, there's so many functional programming features in C# now that you can pretty much write an entire C# application without declaring any classes or doing any OOP. This code here is...
Okay. var point, got a tuple up there. That's a record in Java. You've got var in Java. Var circle, you got a method called calculate area. So here's this is a classless Java C# code, right?
Okay.
He's got some standalone methods there. You can do that. You can actually have standalone methods now with a preview feature in Java 23 or 22 and later. It's coming. It'll come soon enough. Let's see. Static string describe point is a method definition that returns a string that takes a tuple of x and y, a record. Basically, we just give that, we create a record point, and then var point would be new record x and y, x and y point, and then there's a switch. So it's a switch based on, and it produces an expression. You can do that in Java. We have smart switch expressions. Down there on line 17, switch again based on the pattern of the type itself. We can do that in Java. You can do that based on the type. So this code would actually be almost identical. Maybe I'd add one line to create the record type, record point into X, into Y, curly bracket. And then the other thing is we don't have string interpolation yet. So that nice, $ quote thing doesn't quite work. But also, you can do this in Kotlin. It's actually the same amount of code. It's probably even less, Okay.
Valid C#, and the functions down here are doing pattern matching, which is like a functional programming version of a procedural switch statement. This code doesn't look like object-oriented programming at all, and it's an example of how C# has been evolving and embracing these new methods. And that's definitely not the case with Java. While Java...
See, this is, okay, he's proceeding from a false premise. Again, if he had just done some homework, you'd see this is actually quite reasonable in Java today,
Yep.
Should we actually write that code, or should we just watch the video and then write the code?
We should probably watch the video and then write the code.
Okay.
Has tried to incorporate some functional programming features, there's no Java equivalent to this kind of C# syntax. So as a result, Java is seen as playing catch-up rather than leading away. Java's ecosystem, while it's massive, also has a double-edged sword to it, because the sheer number of libraries and frameworks and tools can be a bit overwhelming, particularly for newcomers. The abundance of tools can lead to
So I think he's saying, look, I don't know how to read this. He's saying
so much success, massive ecosystem that could be intimidating.
I mean, that's a take. It's a take. I don't know if I prefer the alternative, which is nobody's using it, and therefore there's not a lot of options.
Yeah, on the spectrum, where would you like to be?
I think I know.
And still on the spectrum, given the massive ecosystem, right? His premise is how we fell out of love,
right,
with Java. I'm still waiting for him to answer that question.
Right, especially if that code was if that's his bite at the apple, then I'm not sure we can have this conversation without some new table stakes, Yeah.
It's called decision fatigue, where developers spend a lot more time choosing the right tool rather than actually focusing on solving a problem. Performance is another area where Java's faced criticism. While Java's performance has
I want to hear him out. I want to hear him out.
But also, it is a way to solve a problem by choosing a solution as opposed to having to build it each time, right? He said they're spending too much time choosing a solution rather than building one. And these things are not orthogonal. In fact, you can often skip a lot of the building if you choose correctly up front, right?
Improved significantly over the years, it's still often perceived as slower compared to languages like Go or Rust, which are designed with performance in mind. In an era where efficiency and speed are paramount, especially for large-scale real-time applications, that perception can be a major drawback for Java. Now let's talk about something a bit more intangible, coolness, right?
Here's the thing. Here's the one thing that I'm noticing. He's gonna compare Java against all the perceived benefits of all of the other languages, right. But this language is better at Java than this. This language is better at Java than this. This language over here is better than Java at this. But not one of those languages can hold up against all the others in the same way.
If only those other languages were just one language. In the meantime, the plurality of features, I think Java and the JVM well, Okay. And again, it's very hard to have a conversation about what is cool if that impression is tainted by the picture he's just painted for us. Like if that so this is one of those things that, we've been like, do we owe it to fix? Look, the right response to this video, if he was making good points, would be to fix Java. But since his points are flawed, the right response has to be, we need to fix the marketing on Java. The message is broken, In
the world of technology, trends and perceptions actually matter a lot more than people give them credit for. Java, for better or worse, has become associated with large legacy enterprise systems. It's the language of big bang.
It's, for better or for worse, large organizations that have a lot of risk and are really trying to solve big problems at big scale have chosen Java.
And big insurance companies and massive corporations.
Every sector in almost every country, save perhaps Antarctica, is using Java at the highest rungs of government, big banking, insurance, media, startups, everything in between, mom and pop shops, and everything up as well.
So while that speaks to its reliability and its robustness, it doesn't exactly scream innovation or excitement. If you contrast that with languages like Python and JavaScript, which are often...
Python is famous for being the most conservative language to embrace new features. That's Guido van Rossum, the guy who created it. Yep. He doesn't want to embrace things in the language until he's sure it's been borne out and proven useful in a few other places in the world, in the ecosystem, in the language space, right? He doesn't want this to be a lab project. He wants it to be the simplest set of tools that are shown to be useful for the largest set of people,
And at the same time that he talks about, just enterprise, just big, and it doesn't fit anywhere else. How long has GraalVM been out?
8 years, 7 years.
Right. And GraalVM allows all of us to take not just Java, but Python and JavaScript to these really, really interesting places. That are not just enterprisey.
Right. And also, how do these enterprises get to be enterprises? They started as startups, and they use Java to get there. So I don't know. Okay, moving on.
With startups and cutting-edge technology and rapid development, these languages are seen as much more agile and much more adaptable, and they fit that.
This is a circular argument. He's saying it's not cool because of this flawed thing, and other people choose this because the thing is not cool. But the premise is, it's just a
modern developers' desire for quick iteration and quick experimentation. The association with legacy systems has given Java a bit of sort of uncool reputation, especially
videos like this are giving Java an uncool reputation.
Yes.
Java itself and its success. Imagine if people said that about the Python code bases, which have been around for 25 years. The fact that Python is successful and widely used is not a flaw, and in no way represents something being uncool. This is a leap in logic that I just can't take.
And also the whole legacy concerns and it's old. I've been with companies, with projects that had to do upgrades of Python, of C#. I've been through those dances, and I'm happy to say that the backwards compatibility, like our friend, right? The backwards compatibility and the ease of still running in production today is
huge.
Huge. Okay, ready?
Younger developers who are looking to work on the next big thing rather than maintaining an old system. Also, the pace of innovation in the Java community has been relatively slow. So while the Java ecosystem is extensive, significant updates and features have historically been few and far.
Every 6 months there's a new release.
Every 6 months there's a new release.
With significant features sometimes.
With massive improvements.
We got virtual threads. And then 6 months later, we got native foreign function interop. And then 6 months before virtual threads, we got what do you say?
And he talked about the perception of being slow, but because he hasn't been following the story.
Yeah, the 1BRC stuff. Tell me that's slow.
Right.
Okay, ready?
Theme of Java. The introduction of new versions of Java often involve a long wait.
Okay, you've missed the plot. I mean, Java, it's been a cadence since Java 11 or 9. Was it 9? I think it was 9. When 9 came out, I don't know, 20. When did 9 come out? It's 24. It's 24 to 9 is 13 divided by 2 is like 6 years ago and some change. I mean, for 6.5 years, we've had a new release every 6 months. So this video is based on, maybe he recorded it 7 years ago and it just got produced. It took all that time to get that hand in front of the plaque earlier.
Yeah.
The special effects and the masking.
The updates, while they're quite big, they don't always keep pace with the rapidly changing.
Again, every 6 months.
Needs of the development community. In contrast, languages like JavaScript and Python, they have vibrant communities that push for rapid and continuous improvement. And that makes them feel a lot more dynamic and a lot more in tune with the current technological landscape. In my personal opinion, the decline in Java's popularity isn't just about the language itself. It's about the shifting landscape of technology and the evolving needs and the preferences of developers. Java is a powerful and a capable language, but it has struggled to shake off that image of the language of the past. It's reliable, but in a world that prizes agility and innovation, reliability alone isn't enough to stay on the top.
I want to just try re-saying that to somebody. English is a prized language, is used by many, but it's whatever. Just like the thought is, I don't know, man. This is a hard place to.
Developers today are looking for languages that are not only powerful, but are also flexible and they're easy to learn and they're fun to use. None of those really apply to Java. Developers want to be part of vibrant communities.
I could agree that it could be easier to learn, but I would, by the same token, his favorite language, C# is not all that much better. And
he stabbed our community a couple of times in this last 15 seconds. He said, hey, the community is, they're stable and stuff, but they're not doing anything. They're not pushing for new features. They're not taking the language forward. And developers, they want somebody that's going to be in front, and they want, and he's taken a shot at this community. And of everything that he said, I think that this is the one that I'm most offended by. Outside of glasses, the Java community is amazing.
Yeah, the best. It's amazing, and it was open source for decades.
They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And while Java still does have a place in the programming world, especially in these big enterprise environments, it hasn't quite managed to capture the imagination of the new generation of developers in the same way as languages like Python, JavaScript, and Go. So there you have it. Those are basically the reasons why JavaScript's seen a decline in popularity.
Wait a minute. He just said JavaScript has seen a decline in popularity.
Let me try this again. We're so close.
Basically the reasons why JavaScript's seen a decline in popularity.
So we agree. This video was actually based all along. It was just a big wind up. The whole thing was just a dunk on.
It's a common mistake. A lot of people make that same mistake.
Right. Yep. Okay. Here we go.
And why developers have started moving towards other languages. If you disagree with anything I've said, or if you have your own opinions, then do write me a comment below.
Train to Code, traintocode.com. YouTube channel's called Train to Code. Like and subscribe. He's got some other videos which are pretty good. So I appreciate the effort it took to make this video.
And the production quality is great.
Yeah, great.
We have to teach. We have to do a better job.
We got to do a better job. Yeah, and so
I'd love to discuss this with people that watch my videos like you. But until next time, my name's James, and why not check out some of my other videos here on the Train to Code YouTube channel.
Well, right now I'm mad at him.
That was right here, Train to Code, right?
He attacked this community.
Yeah.
Brother Cam.
Like and subscribe that guy, right? Let's see. I think I want to write the code. Do you want to take us
yes.
quickly?
Yes.
Let me see. What do I have here?
There's 4:44, 4 minutes ish.
Okay. Let me hide some nonsense on my desktop. Too many
Some of
windows.
the comments are talking about like, oh yeah, we have a lot of decisions to make. Maven or Gradle.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, this is not the problem you think it is.
Yeah.
That's
One
a
of the
joke.
other comments was like, let's compare that to Node. He didn't mention Node, but Node being on top of JavaScript and all the craziness that happens in that ecosystem. The dangers around every corner.
Right, exactly. Okay, I'm going to share now. I'm just reading the chat here. What do we got here? We got some good messages. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Closing things, but making sure not to close the browser we're in. Counterproductive. By the way, can everybody hear that? All right, like this is our first time doing a thing where we used.
One person said that Josh is almost inaudible compared to the video.
Oh.
But I think, from what I can tell, everything was good.
Huh. Okay.
Based on the comments.
Can everybody else hear me, or is it like unique to this person? Let's see. Almost inaudible, huh? Clickbait. Okay, I've got some. Okay. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, exactly. This one.
Oh, it just says it, Josh. You are more quiet. Let
me see. Audio loopback, right? That's the app we're using. I am quiet.
Yeah. You know what? One thing that I would do in our settings for your audio, go and uncheck the echo cancellation.
Okay, so I'm going to show my screen. Actually, wait. Uncheck the echo cancellation. Oh, in the app. In the
StreamYard.
StreamYard. Okay.
Yeah.
Audio. Echo. How about now? It's unchecked.
Oh.
Is that better? Worse?
Well, now I think I hear myself. So no, we can't do that. Pink Emma is saying that she wants you to have a better mic.
Yeah.
The audio isn't that great.
Oh, but you can hear me now if I do that. So
I can hear you.
But you can hear yourself.
But now I'm get a myself. Echo.
Okay. What is it better?
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2.
That's good. All right. Sounds like we're better.
Okay, and I made it a little bit louder. Wait, now I'm super quiet.
Let's see.
It's bad now.
There might be a delay for some folks. So Harish says now it's better.
It is better?
And Pink Emma says it's better. All right, we're getting all good. Thumbs up. So we've learned something. What did you change on your side?
I made the mic volume in StreamYard better, so I don't know.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so let's write some code. I'm going to share my desktop now, having closed. It took me like 2 minutes to close all the apps I had going. This the thing for you all is indescribable. Okay, so share some screen, entire screen, desktop. Okay. Start that. I'm curious. And so you said it was like 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
4 minutes. Where's that code? The flawed code from which we proceeded. Was it 6? Oh, here we go. There's. Okay. So I'm just going to use Java 2021. Why not? Okay. And then we're going to do web. I don't even care about GraalVM. I don't care about any of this, actually. I just want to show the functional stuff, right?
Yep.
So downloads, UAO, demo.zip. Okay, here we go. Now, to be fair, this is going to rely upon a preview feature. So I give them points for that. But still. So let's see. Let's see if we can get this to be as clean as possible. So first of all, the method he's got, let's do that. Let's do this in regular Java. That's standard. That actually works. So double. You have the.
I'm on a little screen, so bear with me. I can't quite read everything.
Oh, wait. There you go. How about that?
All right.
Better?
Yep.
Sorry about that. I completely forgot. I have my large desktop now. So actually, I'm keeping this up at the same time as we have that window so we can kind of compare notes. Okay, we got the record. What else do we need to do? We have a method here called describe point, static string, capital S, describe point, and then we want to switch. So we're going to say return switch point. And here, this part we can't extract out by the values, can we? Do we have that? I don't think we do. So case. How would you do that? Actually, that's a good point. I don't know how you would do the unpacking by, because it's a tuple, right? It's a
right.
You can do where, can't you? Isn't that a thing? So case. Actually, that's a good point. Get it? Point. Let me see. Let's try the other one here. Static double. Calculate area. Okay, calculate area. I mean, I'll give him this. This is obviously a much nicer syntax, already standard in C#. Okay, so let's see here. We've got this static area, calculate point. He's testing against just a base object to try and see what the type is. So I guess it's not even, so he's doing object, okay, or object shape, return switch shape, right? Case, and he's got presumably, so he's got some other classes somewhere. We don't see them, but if it's a circle, then he's going to have a radius, okay? So there's that, and he's got another type here called rectangle, okay? That has a width and a height, okay? So case rectangle R, then we do R dot, rectangle dot height times rectangle dot width. Okay, seems reasonable enough. And then what else? What's the other one? Case circle. Nice, actually. That actually, yay. So is that basically the same thing?
Yeah.
Circle that radius times circle that radius. Seems like for like, right?
Yep.
And this other one, I grant you, I wouldn't know how to do this actually. I don't know.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. You could do an if, obviously. You could say if point xy equals 0, 0, then it's origin. If it equals 0, whatever, you know. But
his whole point was it's a switch.
Yep. Now, the other thing that would make this code even nicer is if it was running classless. Well, actually, let's just see if we can get it. So var point equals new point, blah. And then var, and then we do a system out print line. Describe, I guess we do want to do calculate, huh? Calculate area of the point, of the shape. We want to have a new circle, and we'll call this 5, okay? 5. So that'll work. We didn't do the describe point because I didn't implement that one. And then we print out, you know, oh, interesting. Oh, so he actually assigned this to a variable, var area, and then this is the thing I miss that we don't have. I mean, we're going to have it. String templates will come back one day, but area of the shape, and we don't have this, so we do that instead, right? Does that look reasonable?
Yes, and it does. And Dan is reminding us that records have pattern matching. So,
yes, you can destructure. Yes, that's a great point. Actually, you can destructure var height, var width. That's right. That's
for the describe point.
Okay, so let me fix this though to make it a little bit cleaner. We can do destructuring in Java. That's a great point. And then that's the radius. Var radius. So radius.
Oh, look at, we're getting all the
cleaner now. Okay, and then now, but I still don't know how you would do. You would have to match, like, basically. Yep. So okay, let's try it.
There's an example in the chat. I don't have it formatted, but it looks, case point int x int y when x equals 0.
Oh, I knew it. It's a when, right? Okay, that's what I was thinking. Let's try this out. Thank you, team. Let's go. So then this method becomes, let me see, void. This is called describe point. So string describe point, point. Okay, and then the implementation is switch return switch point case point x y. That's I knew. So it's a when. That's what I was looking for. I don't use the syntax a lot, but I know it exists.
Yep.
Okay. Then origin. Oh, so good. Okay, so insert default branch, I guess. So let me see what his is. So, okay, there you go. So that's the syntax. I'm not going to do each branch, but you get the idea, right? It would look like this. So that's the describe point. And I guess we can actually print that out then. So var point. Oh no, we got the var point here. Shape.
I'm not up on all of the preview features, but Polo here says, I guess we have underscore bars as a preview feature.
We do. Yeah.
Combined with pattern matching, we'll achieve the desired behavior.
That's in Java 23. That's real. That's already GA. But so did I do static? I did not. Static describe point. Okay. So there's that syntax. And to do other branches, but I think you get the idea.
Yep.
And now, so this is all GA code that you could write today, right? That's not like controversial. The thing where we need to catch up a little bit, and which is coming, is classless code. So you can do that, right? It's just a preview feature. So if I wanted to, let's go back to the command line here. And which version of Java am I using? Java 23. There's actually a small bug, SDK list Java. And I'm going to use Java OpenJDK, right? OpenJDK, not GraalVM. Where is OpenJDK? This might be a thing. When he talks about too many choices, this might be what he's talking about. Like, which one of these is Java? But
so otherwise, this is another, I think, a value in the ecosystem where I like to say that the JVM is one size fits most.
Yep.
But not one size fits all. We have this flexibility in the JVMs that we choose to optimize for different parts of what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay. So I'm going to turn this into a preview feature. And by the way, I use this preview feature, so if it should be fine, right? So unzip and open. Here's a preview thing I use all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to say void main. We don't need the string args. We don't need that. We don't need that. Okay. And now this doesn't compile in this version of because again, it's a preview feature. So I'm going to run this now. Can I run it? Void main Java enable preview. Source is 23 main or demo application source main Java example. Okay, not allowed with exporting a package. Oh, package, right? Get rid of that. Okay, take 5. Complete. Okay, release. Wait, which version of Java am I running in that shell? Let me go over here. So it's here. Over here. Source file not found. Okay. What does this error mean? Not allowed with -- release.
Wait, it still says you're exporting a package.
But am I? That's the real question. Which version of Java? Java version. Okay, so I do that. -- enable preview. .env bin unzip and open that Java. This program is.
Dan says we can set the preview feature in IntelliJ, so it'll compile in IntelliJ if you want to get all your.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get it to work on this. It should work. So we're actually not using the right. Oh, this is OpenJDK, but it says GraalVM. No, I don't want that. I want a new shell, Java version. We should just using regular OpenJDK.
All right. SDK use.
Yeah.
Java.
Java
23.0.2 dash Liberica, Librca.
Okay, this one 23. Oh, that.
Okay, that one.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Okay, default Java. Okay, SDK install Java. This one. I just want the preview feature to work. Okay, here we go.
But the whole idea is that Java's moving forward.
Super good.
You couldn't do this. This is not your grandma and grandpa's Java, right?
Yeah.
This is our Java. It continues to move forward. Preview features. We're keeping up, and
Okay.
we're leading the way.
So now Java version. There you go. That looks real. So CD downloads demo source main Java. Java enable preview release 23 source 23 demo application.java. Oh, release is not an option anymore. Okay, unexpected value .x12. Okay, so I didn't handle that case. So what did I do wrong? So what is the case I do have? When it's 0, yeah, we got the default. Okay, so let's just change this to have when x equals 1 and y equals 2, 1, 2, right?
Yep.
There you go. Okay.
Default case. There you go.
So there's the code. It's not. I grant you this is a preview feature. It doesn't quite work, and he's not showing the implementation of these two types on his code base, but pretty nice. Actually, can these be non-static as a result? Right? Like, does that work?
Let's see.
It does.
Sure does.
Yeah, it's even cleaner in a way than that original code. So let's see. Let's compare left to right. So let's see. We have extra space there. We have the main method. He doesn't have a main method, right? He doesn't have anything at all.
Yeah.
Ours is just void main, which is as light as I frankly feel like we need to make it. But otherwise, I don't think you can look at either and say one is grossly more inefficient than the other. He's also using tuples here, which we have to use records for, and he's not showing the implementation of rectangle circle in there. I think I agree. The code is not that much worse, and in some ways it's better. Like we can do destructuring here.
Yes.
You know, I don't know. It's an amazing time to be a Java developer. Good stuff.
Yes, it is.
I hope people out of that live stream. That was a little bit of fun.
That was good. Can we do another one of these?
We should. Let me see what the comments are. And okay, come on. Yeah, it was good. Now it got really bad. Bruno. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Hi. All the way. Okay. Okay. There you go. True. Yeah. It does not. Yeah, I'm with you. It doesn't suck. I think we've proven that. We don't have to.
Yeah.
But we did. Yep. Exactly. He's not wrong. He's missing the ease of debugging. Oh, the debugging.
Yep.
This is the thing. You know how many developers I've met that just run their Spring and Java programs from the command line because they've probably got bad experiences using other languages where you don't feel like the IDE can give you much. I don't want to write code that I can't easily debug. I actually will change careers to avoid that situation, right? Okay, this really triggered you, so you're turning in. It's okay, don't worry. Yeah, why Java rocks? It does, yeah. So many nice things to say about Java. What is there to rant about? Yeah, great question. I do not know.
It for a 9-minute and 44-second video, it was like 7 minutes of it was like, yeah, Java's awesome for all these reasons.
And then
the other was like confused.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he was an AI whose cutoff date was 7 years ago. You know, I make all my strings zero terminated. Oh, okay. Oh, yep. Okay. The chart was about. Let me see. Oh. Yep. Absolutely. It's awesome. Java and Kotlin, pretty based. Yeah. Oh, the chart was admired versus desired. Oh, interesting. That's the ranking with the numbers.
Okay. Thank you.
So what that means to the left, the number on the left, which is like 15% or whatever, is admired, but the rest is, I don't understand what that means. TypeScript is just JavaScript in address. True. True. I don't see why OOP is perceived as bad. It has use cases, makes some things a lot easier. Yeah, OOP is dope, but also this is what he shows is not real like functional programming. Ask somebody using Scala, which by the way is a real functional programming language. Ask them if that feels like functional programming. They'll laugh at you, right? But to the point that those features are nice, they exist in Java, or they're going to be soon, right? Let's see. This guy is fine. I mean, this guy is really smart. He's got some other great videos. I don't want to discourage anybody from watching his stuff. I just don't think the particular take was particularly well informed. Oh yeah. Did you make sure to import your left pad function? Some of modern string interpolation has a performance hit, so logging. I didn't even think about that. We're gonna have it soon enough too, so I can't, in my glass house, I can't condemn them for having slightly slower performance for string interpolation because we're gonna have the same thing. Great point. Thanks for that. Let's see. It's interesting to how many people have opinions on Java yet seem so out of touch with modern developments in the language. That's why we had to do this video.
Yep.
This is a based take right here. This is it. This is the way. Exactly. I don't want Java.
I want to keep my job.
Yeah. It's not edgy and actually has staunch backwards compatibility, which is yep. Yeah. Oh, see, this is the fact that this isn't a joke. You can do this, right? Java Spring.
And I didn't realize how big just that ecosystem is. Just the Java on ZOS on mainframe.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge. My startup, GenRocket, was built on Java. The last 4 startups I've been involved with were all Java. Can we just call this video clickbait? Yeah. Wait, our video or the one the one to which we're responding? Yeah. Either way, yes. I love Python. So Python is what T-Cell was supposed to be, a scriptable flavored wrapper that binds to C++ libraries, making them usable. E.g., yeah, Python's dope. I'm a big fan. See, base take. I'm with you on this 100%. I've never minced words with Oracle before, but I will be the very first to defend them and their treatment of Java. They've done a fantastic job on evolving the language, stewarding the JDK and the JVM and its community. Freaking amazing. Like, super, super, super grateful. I don't know, probably trolling. I don't know. Maybe he's honestly misinformed. He's not wrong. There is a perceived decline. And if somebody as obviously competent as this person is so confused, then there's clearly something we need to do, right? I don't think he's trolling. I think he might actually generally not know. And that's a problem. That's an us problem, not a him problem. Yep. I mean, partly him, but it's mostly us, you know? Let's see. We also need to give credits to Maven. Stability is provided, unlike all the build systems, even after 20. True, although I gotta tell you, I'm starting to like that Rust. Like, I want it to just be in the language. Like, I wish Java had, when I did Java, I wish I could do like Java pom.xml. Just Java.
Yep.
XML, and let it figure out the source code, let it figure out the main method, let it figure out the dependencies. Why do I have to have it as a separate program? I'm not wearing glasses after this video. Yeah. What I would love to see the most from Java now is another round of cleaning APIs and strengthening the already good standard library. It builds reliability. Yep, they're cleaning up all the time. Yeah, this is like, I mean, yeah, the glasses joke was funny. Oh, this one. I did a blog on Java 23, I think, and Primogen reviewed it, and like he went in there with the same sort of like, oh, okay, but is it really nice? And actually, by the end of it, he kind of like he came around to it. He's like, okay, this is nice. The only problem I had with that particular review that he did was, and it was my fault again, not his, but I had my favorite part of Java 21 was virtual threads.
Yep.
Which I covered at the very end of the blog, and for some reason he disengaged reading the blog right at that point.
No.
The coolest feature, and he didn't even cover it. But yeah, the rest of it was good too.
You had to put that hook in there, like
Stay
wait
tuned.
until you hear about virtual threads.
Santa Maria. Let's see. Video was a bit louder than both of us. Okay. Yeah, now it's fine. I need a better mic. That's for real. You should do some Dave Farley videos where I just okay. No, hey, I don't know. That's wrong. There's never no such thing as too much Deshaun. Okay, better audio problems. Okay. Rage baiting than being constructive criticism. Yeah, well, okay. Could you switch to idea to presentation mode? Pattern matching. Okay, so I think we're on the same page here. Like this is a this again, I don't know. See, it's very unfortunate that this is my response when I see the language is widely deployed, well maintained, and evolved, is not to think lesser of it. My response is to think, well done.
I want to say, hey, Luis, you should be looking for my upcoming book, Spring Boot on the Edge, where we take Spring Boot everywhere.
Yeah.
Small devices everywhere. It's not just legacy, enterprisey, big systems. It's going to go in all the places outside the data center, outside the cloud, everywhere in your toaster.
Yeah. And as always, a huge shout out to Brian Getz, Java language architect Brian Getz, who's amazing, and he's at the helm of Java's development. 100%, 2,000%, amazing. Okay, I think we did the thing. That's good. We'll do another one soon. Yeah,
that was fun.
This was a lot of fun. Bye, everybody.